If you've ever thought of the Mini Cooper Convertible as a cute little city toy, the 2025 model might catch you completely off guard. Because this time, Mini didn't just refresh a car, they rewired its personality. And depending on who you ask, this evolution is either a bold upgrade or the moment Mini stopped being Mini. But why is everyone suddenly talking about this tiny convertible? And what did Mini change that started a real debate online? Let's break it down. The first thing people notice is the looks. The 2025 convertible steps into the spotlight with a cleaner, sharper expression. The bumpers are resculpted, the LED lighting is more defined, and the whole shape feels like someone peeled away the unnecessary details. It's still a Mini, but it's a Mini in 2025, not 2015. The proportions you expect are still here, the short overhangs, the playful stance, but there's a confidence to it now. A sort of grown-up swagger the older models never had. Then there's the roof. Mini refused to give up the soft top formula, and honestly, that's one of the reasons people still love this car. The electric roof folds down in about 18 seconds, and you don't even have to stop the car to do it. You can drop it while cruising at around 30 kilometers per hour. And if you're not in the mood for a full open-top moment, you can slide the roof back halfway like a giant sunroof. It's the same idea Mini's used for years, but the mechanics feel smoother, faster, almost too easy. And that ease, that press one button and the whole world opens up vibe, is a big part of why this convertible still matters. But the real story begins under the hood. And trust me, this is where things get interesting. Mini offers two main engine options for 2025, and both of them push the car into a new category. The base version comes with a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder pushing out around 161 horsepower. It's the kind of setup that feels playful, quick off the line, and perfectly matched with the car's size. But if you step up to the Cooper S trim, the convertible suddenly wakes up. With around 201 horsepower and 221 lb-ft of torque, this tiny open-top car turns into a surprisingly energetic machine. It's not trying to compete with sports cars, but for something this small and light, the power hits harder than you expect. But there's a twist, and not everyone is happy about it. Mini decided to remove the manual transmission entirely. No matter which version you buy, you're getting a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. On one hand, the shifts are incredibly quick, smooth, and almost predictive. The car feels like it knows what you're about to do before you do it. But for Mini purists, the ones who grew up loving the raw, mechanical feeling of older Minis, this choice feels like betrayal. For them, the stick shift was part of the Mini identity, and the moment it disappeared, so did a piece of the brand's soul. Whether that's dramatic or just nostalgic, you'll have to decide for yourself. And things get even more divided when you step inside the new cabin. The 2025 convertible doesn't look like any Mini interior that came before it. The centerpiece is a massive circular OLED screen, roughly 9.4 inches, that acts as your instrument cluster, your infotainment system, your driving settings, everything. It's bright, sharp, colorful, and it completely changes the atmosphere of the cabin. Instead of the quirky old switches and buttons Minis were known for, the interior now feels modern, digital, and almost futuristic. But here's the catch, not everyone likes that. Longtime Mini fans argue the brand has gone too far into the digital world, stripping away the tactile character that made Minis special. Where are the chunky toggles, the oddball layout, the retro personality? Some say the new interior feels a little too perfect, too polished, like Mini is trying to imitate premium brands instead of embracing its own identity. Still, from a practical standpoint, the upgrades are undeniable. The digital climate controls are easier to use, the safety features are more advanced, and the whole cabin feels cleaner and more put together. And if you're someone who appreciates modern tech, this might easily be your favorite part of the new convertible. But here's where this story gets even more complicated. For all its improvements, the convertible doesn't solve one of the car's longest-running problems: space. The back seats are still tiny, basically for kids, bags, or pretending you can fit another adult back there. And the trunk, well, let's just say it's more symbolic than useful. If you're planning a long road trip with luggage, this car won't be your best friend. And honestly, that's part of the charm. The Mini was never about practicality. It's about personality, and the 2025 convertible hasn't forgotten that. But before you decide whether the new Mini Cooper Convertible is a genius upgrade or an identity crisis on wheels, there's a lot more to uncover, because the controversial decisions don't stop here. And what comes next might change how you feel about this car entirely. To really understand the 2025 Mini Cooper Convertible, you have to look at the decisions Mini isn't advertising as loudly. Because behind the bright OLED screens and playful design updates, there's a deeper shift happening, one that hints at the future of the entire brand. And depending on who you ask, that future is either exciting or genuinely concerning. One of the biggest changes sits under the surface, the move toward electrification. The 2025 convertible is still powered by gasoline engines, but Mini has made it clear that this generation is on borrowed time. Their lineup is rapidly transitioning toward fully electric models, and the convertible might become one of the last gas-powered open-top cars from the brand. For car enthusiasts, that idea brings mixed emotions. On one hand, it makes the 2025 model feel special, almost like the final chapter of an era, but on the other hand, it raises an uncomfortable question. Is this the last real Mini convertible we'll ever see? This is where the debates get louder. Some online communities say the brand is losing its rebellious spirit, that Mini used to stand out by being different, not by following industry trends. The turbo engines, the sporty handling, the mechanical character, these things made people fall in love with the car. And now, with electrification taking over, fans fear the spirit might fade. Yet, even with that uncertainty hanging over it, the 2025 convertible brings something that proves Mini hasn't forgotten who they are: the driving feel. This is where the car redeems itself, and honestly, it might be the part people underestimate the most. The steering is sharp and direct, so direct in fact, that reviewers have said it feels like the car reacts instantly to every little input. The suspension sits right in that sweet spot between playful and controlled. When you turn into a corner, the car leans just enough to feel alive, but not enough to feel sloppy. The low center of gravity makes every curve feel intentional, like the car wants to dance through the road instead of just drive over it. And with the top down, even simple roads feel more dramatic. You hear the turbo spool, the wind rushing beside you, the soundtrack of city streets or country roads. It's not powerful in a throw-your-head-back way, but it's fun. And at the end of the day, that's what Minis have always been known for. Fun that doesn't try too hard. Performance that doesn't pretend to be something it's not. But for all the enjoyment behind the wheel, the price tag has sparked its own controversy. The Mini Cooper Convertible has never been marketed as a budget car, but the 2025 model pushes even higher. And this sparks a major question online. Is the new convertible worth the money? Or is Mini pushing it too far into premium territory? Fans argue both sides. Supporters say the quality improvements, tech upgrades, and stronger performance justify the higher cost. Critics say Mini is drifting into a price bracket that no longer matches what the car offers, especially considering the tiny trunk, tight back seats, and lack of manual transmission. The debate hasn't cooled down, and honestly, it probably won't anytime soon. And there's another twist: the reliability rumors. Every year, forums and comment sections blow up with discussions about Mini's long-term durability. Some owners claim flawless experiences, while others report electrical gremlins, sensor issues, and interior wear. The 2025 model aims to improve this with updated components and software, but the rumors don't disappear that easily. For many buyers, this becomes part of the decision-making tension, excitement versus hesitation. Still, the 2025 convertible offers something its rivals don't. Most small convertibles have disappeared from the market entirely. Cars like this are rare now. Compact, stylish, open-top, and personality-driven. Mini basically owns this segment alone, and being the last one standing gives the 2025 convertible a strange advantage. If you want something small, playful, premium, and open-air, there's really nothing else like it. By the time you experience the car fully, roof down, city lights passing overhead, that turbo engine pulling you forward, the criticisms start to feel smaller. The tight spaces, the digital interior, the controversial transmission, they fade. Because you understand the real reason people buy this car: emotion. It makes everyday driving feel like an event. And in a world where cars are becoming more predictable, more silent, and more automated, that feeling is rare. So is the 2025 Mini Cooper Convertible worth it? That depends on what you want from a car. If you're chasing practicality, this won't impress you. If you're looking for raw, old-school driving purity, the missing manual might sting. But if you want a car that feels alive, one that brings personality to every drive, one that stands out without trying too hard, this convertible delivers exactly that. And maybe that's why, Despite all the debates and controversies, it still captures attention in 2025 because the Mini Convertible is more than a spec sheet. It's a feeling, and that's something numbers alone can't replace. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the 2025 Mini Cooper Convertible, don't forget to subscribe and like the video because the next deep dive might surprise you even more.